In its opening weekend, the movie God's Not Dead brought in an astounding $9.2 million, making it the 10th all-time highest box office Christian movie hit. And now, in its second straight week, it continues to smash expectations and has brought in an additional $9 million. And you may not know it, but this small-budget film that's getting big national attention has a local connection. Take a look.
This semester, I propose that we refuse to waste our limited time together debating the existence of the big man in the sky. Fill in the papers I've just given you with 3 little words. God is dead.
I can't do what you want. I'm a Christian.
It's the story of a college student who defends God in front of his atheist professor and classmates. One of his peers he influences is a character inspired by the life of a local doctor.
The character Martin in the movie basically paralleled the life of my own. Pastor Rice actually texted me with a photo of Martin, and he said, "Okay, Ming, here's the guy who's going to play you." And I replied, I said, "Oh, at least he's better looking."
What happens in Martin's heart is something Dr. Wang remembers well.
So I grew up in China as atheist and during what they call Cultural Revolution. From 1966 to 1976, the communist government decided the best way to govern is to destroy the future of all of these young people.
His fate was a lifetime of hard labor and poverty, but a chance meeting with an American professor changed everything.
In 1982, with $50 borrowed from him, with enough money borrowed from relatives, that enough for one-way airfare, that I was dropped out National Airport, Washington, D.C. With that $50, with a Chinese English dictionary, but with a big American dream in my heart.
Ming worked hard and eventually was accepted into Harvard. There, a Christian professor took an opportunity to influence him.
He took me out for lunch, and he said, "Ming, what's across the street?" I said, "That's a car." He said, "What's the difference between car and human brain?" I said, "Human brain is a lot more complicated." He said, "Okay, can you imagine a part of random piece of metal assemble itself into a car?" I said, "No way." He said, "How about human brain?" So right and then, he opened a window in my life.
Think of Jesus as my friend.
You think Jesus is God?
I saw the truth and began to open myself to faith, and the same thing happened to Martin that opened himself. And there's some overlap of Joshua's character with me in the book as well, in the sense the evidence that I talk about in the book, supporting the existence of God, these evidence, the words were put into the mouth of Joshua, and he was the one who actually voiced and present this evidence.
Dr. Wang says he finally figured out that science and faith work hand in hand.
Science is about what things are, and faith is about why things are.
Now, Dr. Wang's faith in Jesus Christ inspires everything he does. Just last year, he performed a miraculous surgery on a 15-year-old orphan from Moldova, Maria.
De la 7 ani am ajuns la școală și când am ajuns cu problemele de vedere, îmi părea că o să fie totul închis, nu o să am prieteni, dar totul s-a ales prin puterea lui Dumnezeu.
The summer of 2012, my husband and I were fortunate to be able to take our family, ourselves and our children, to Moldova. And our goal was to work at a summer camp for children that the majority of them are orphans. We walk into camp and all of a sudden there's this beautiful girl sitting there on a bench all by herself. She just looked so sad, so lonely, and her head was down and nobody was around her. And so I went up to her with a translator, and I said, "Hi," I introduced myself, and she told me that her name was Maria, but that's all, I could pretty much get out of her. She wouldn't look up at me, and I said, "Maria, let me see your beautiful face. Let me see you. I want to see you." And she looked up at me. And it was then that I realized that she had something just terribly wrong with her eyesight. I could tell.
A year after IBOR 2012, that when we first heard about Maria came to the United States and walked into our One Vision 3D cataract and LASIK center. We sat down and plotted out the whole side restoration surgical plan and involved 10 different steps. Each of the steps can have two possible outcomes, success or failure. And we can only get to the next step if the previous step is perfect or is successful. I know that that's a very small possibility for humans, but God is powerful. Got it. You got it. And guess what? It happened. God created a miracle. The surgery went beautifully.
I see Maria. He's, oh, careful. You see Casey? Look at Casey.
Can you see me?
There's Maria. Look at her.